Hello everyone. In our last video we talked about our first approach on solving equations using graphical methods. So today I told you in the last video that in our next video we are going to talk about the second approach. So today I will be talking about the second approach on how to solve an equation. Here, let's start. Now, the second approach. Here we have to use approach. Here we have to use the same equation we used at the first video to see the difference between the two. Let's have our function for first. In our last video we used s cubed minus 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. This is our function. Now let's look at the two. In this one we are going to use another approach, which is the second one. We call it separation separating the roots. We are going to separate this equation in two different ways. Then we use it to find the roots by drawing the graphs. Now for us to separate this equation, we have the equation x cubed minus 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. Now separating this, we have to bring this one. We have to write x cubed, then take this one to the other side and make it equals to 3x plus 1. When this minus crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. Now we have this. In our graph, we know that when we have s cubed, we know that our graph, the sketch of the graph normally looks like this. When it is minus, it goes down. And when we have s cubed, which is what we have here, our graph looks like this. This is how it looks like. Now we are going to draw this graph separately. We will start from here, but before that we always name our, if you separate it, let's call this u of x and let's call this g of x. Now we have this. Remember, when we solved the first equation, we found out that our x here is equals to minus 1 and the 1. Now let's use it to solve this. We will draw our table. Here we know that we have s. Let's make it like this. Here we have to call this, bring it here, call this u of x. Now we have to put in the value of x here so that we will find u of x using this. This is u of x. We know that u of x is equals to s cubed, and g of x is equals to 3x plus 1. Now, when we make sure that the values of x you will choose, that we have this minus 1 and 1 in it. So let's choose our values. Let's make it minus 1. Okay, let's start from minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. Now, here we have s cubed. We know that when s here is minus 2, our s cubed will be minus 8. When we have here s cubed, when x is minus 1, we will have minus 1. Here is 0. This one. When x is 1, 1 raised to power 3 is 1. 2 raised to power 3 is 8. Now we have our values. We call this our x values, and this is our y value. Now do the same thing on this by drawing the table. This is our x. Now this is now g of x. This is this. Now let's choose our values. Our values of x. Let's choose minus 1, 0, 1. Minus 1, 0, and 1. Sorry. Now, we still have here minus 1 and 1, minus 1 and 1. You can make it minus 2, minus 3, or 2, 3. You can choose. And here, this is what we found in the first video. Now, let's put in the values of y. We know that when here now is this g of x is equals to 3x plus 1. Now when x here is minus 1, we know that 3 times minus 1 plus 1 is minus 2. Here we have 0 plus 1, which is 1. And here 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, we have 4. Now we have the two values of the separated equation. This is the value of x, and this is the value of y. Now we are going to draw the graph to show these two values of x and y in our graph. Now, as I said earlier, this is x cubed, and it normally looks like this. Now we will see it in our graph based on this. Now the graph will not be accurate, but I will try to make you understand. Now we have this. This is our origin. Now let's start from the beginning. When x is minus 2, this is minus, let's start minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. Now, when we have minus 2, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Sorry. Yes. Now, when x is 2, y is minus 8. We have a point here. When x is 1, our y is minus 1 somewhere here. When x is 0, y is 0 too. When we have x1, y is 1 somewhere here. When x is 2, y is 4. Now we have this. Yes. If you look at this sketch, you will find out that we still have the same sketch here, which is s cube, and we just drew the graph of s cube here. Now let's draw the graph of 3x plus 1, which is the second table. Now let's put in the values. When x is minus 1, our y is minus 2. Have it here. When x is 0, our y is 1. Here, 0, here. When x is 1, our y is 4. Have it here. Now let's join it with a straight line. Yes, now we have this. For us to find the root here, we have to extend this. Our first root is at the point, now root is at the point of minus 2 and minus 1. Our second root, we check here. Second root is actually, it touches here. Our second root is minus 1 and 0, and it touches here again. Come down. Our third root is 1 and 2. So now we found the root we are looking for. So this is how to solve an equation using a separation method. In our next video, I will solve more equations, solve more tutorial examples, so you will understand more. Thank you for watching my video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.